A common dominant narrative found in the media is white saviorism films. White saviorism is when a white person acts to help non-white people, with this help in some contexts being perceived as self-serving. In the article, Oscar Loves a White Savior, the author explains this genre by saying that these storylines insinuate that people of color have no ability to rescue themselves. This both makes white audiences feel good about themselves by portraying them as benevolent messiahs and also depicts people of color as helpless weaklings, all while wrapping such tripe in the cinematic argot of liberation. This narrative has been seen in movies for many years. Some of the stories are fiction, but others are based off of true stories. We covered some of these in class when we watched Dangerous Minds, Finding Forrester, and Freedom Writers. For our project, we chose to highlight two true story white savior films, The Blind Side and Freedom Writers. The Blind Side was a popular movie that came out in 2009 that told the true story of Michael Orr's life. Michael Orr was a young African-American male that lived in the part of town that is stereotypically known as the wrong side of the tracks. He did not have the parental support he needed and was failing high school. He was depicted as a man that needed guidance and someone to look out for him. Despite being a film that centralizes around his story, the role of Leanne Toohey makes this a classic white savior film. Leanne Toohey was a middle-aged white woman that took Michael into her home and her life. She found him one night walking the streets and asked him to stay with her. What was supposed to be a short-term stay ended in the Toohey family legally adopting Michael and supporting him throughout high school and into college. From the outside, this is a story about Michael's growth as a person, but Leanne also grows, which is a key component in a white savior film. Leanne was not thinking of her own self-growth when she helped Michael, but through the film, he makes her a better person.
Freedom Writers was also a popular movie that came out in 2007 that told a story about a stereotypical white teacher, Erin Gruwell, who was given the job to teach low-income and low-performing students at Woodrow Wilson High School in Long Beach, California. The movie mostly focuses on Erin's attempt to help all of her students succeed academically with the power of education and help them overcome prejudices in school. As seen in the movie, most of her students are made up of African American and Hispanic heritage, and the white culture surrounding them at school is the reason these kids deal with the abuse and discrimination they endure. Erin primarily focuses on the challenges her students face and lets them be the center of their personal struggles. She realizes she can't fix her students, and the only thing she's able to do is introduce them to people in history and in literature that will help them understand their own situations. At the end, we see that Erin not only grows as a person, but so do her students when she single-handedly transforms the students' perception and makes them better students and people. As can be seen, movies like The Blind Side and Freedom Writers both demonstrate the common dominant narrative film of white saviorism. We see the same message of a white individual changing the life of a non-white person or group of people who have had troubled lives. This dominant narrative can be seen in many popular films throughout the years and has continued to impact audiences.